morning to our viewers. I think my view has always been clear about the issue of the national dialogue.
Yes.
That when you look at the 5 issues that they sort of percolated them into, there's only 2 serious issues there. The issue around the creation or the embedment of the 2 offices, the PCS and the leader of opposition, 1, and then about the funds. The rest of those matters, we're always going to end up in this situation. So I said, and I'm going to say it again for clarity, that when you look at these talks and the way they are going, and of course from what Jackson has said, it basically confirms what I've always said, that this is a rope that was handed over to the opposition to hang themselves, and now they're realizing they've gone into this cul-de-sac without a way out. So what do we do? Yes, because at the end of the day, the agenda that these guys brought to the table were always never going to be prosecuted properly, because 1, the issue of and I'm sorry to sound like I'm sort of echoing what Malala, the SG for UDA, said, that the issue of the elections is done and dusted.
Yes.
That's gone. The opposition should accept that fact. That's done and dusted. There is no way the winner and who is sitting in government to go back and then audit themselves.
John, but
they're never going to allow that. Yes, that John, is 1. And then number 2.
But that's why they're talking about it. They do not want to accept.
Yes, exactly. That's what I'm saying. That the government will not allow, the Kenya Kwanza side will not allow an audit of the elections. That's done and dusted. The sooner we accept that fact, the better for everybody, and especially for opposition, so that they can do other things.
But that's why they're there. They're saying, good, do not tell us to accept. That's what we're here to talk about.
And that is why I'm saying, in my opinion, that they should accept that road is going nowhere. It's a cul-de-sac. It's a dead end. Yes. So instead of wasting time telling us to audit the elections, please don't do that. Do something else. Expend that energy and resources to do something else. That is 1. Number 2, last time I asked a question. If we know that from litigation, we know from jurisprudence, that the final result of the elections is Form 34A. And throughout all these conversations since the elections, nobody has ever impugned or impeached any single Form 34A. Leave the 34B and the Cs. We know that from the minor Kiai case, from the Supreme Court, from the High Court, from the Court of Appeal, that the final result is a Form 34A. So how do you audit? You audit by bringing a form. Say, for example, I usually use the example of Kilelesho Primary School, a polling station there. Nobody has brought a form from Kilelesho Primary School and said, actually what was posted on the portal, the IEBC results portal, or what was given to our agent, our presidential agent in Kilelesho Primary School, or what was posted on the gate of Kilelesho Primary School is different. So how do you audit then? Whatever is in the form, whatever is in the portal, if the IEBC says this is what is there, how are you going to challenge it if you don't have it? By their own admission, they never had agents in many of these places. So what are you saying? If I told you whatever is in the portal is final and is real, it's over a year since the elections, whatever had been posted on the gate of Kilelesho Primary School is no longer there. School has gone on for a year and a half. So how do you do that audit?
John, somebody asked that we didn't have our agents because we were presented with a case that the election was going to be free and fair. So no need for agents to come in and actually look at the forms that are moving from this particular field to the portal. Now, since we've realized that indeed we needed agents and we didn't have them now, then let's go back and audit those forms that you have in the portal.
Exactly.
Somebody asked, then why are you telling us that we didn't have agents? That, you say I'm using your statement, Joe, just before I cross over to Fanya Mambo. That indeed, you guys were not even prepared for this election. And that's a statement that we've seen from the other side, and most particularly from the Kenya Kwanza side. You guys were not prepared for this election. You didn't even have agents on some of the polling stations. It was your mistake. You lost it because of disorganization. Somebody's going to ask you, why do we have to lose it because of a disorganization if the election was free and fair? That's what we want to audit.
There was an interesting statement, perhaps, I don't know, I'm happy that Jackson is here.
Yeah.
He's a lawyer also. I think there was a very interesting statement from either the Deputy Chief Justice or Smoking Wanjala, who said that it is your responsibility as participants in an election or in a contest to make sure that you do all the necessary preparations and you organize yourselves to ensure that it's actually free and fair. It is not the responsibility of the court. It is not the responsibility of us as Kenyans. It is you as a contestant to make sure that you organize yourself and plan and make sure that you have controls which enables you, like I said, if you were to be asked today to impeach Form 34A, even a single one, leave alone the 46,000 plus, just a single one from one polling station saying that this is different from what was posted on the portal.
John, fine.
Then how do you do it? How do you do that audit?
John, fine. But that particular statement again can also be tried and tested in the sense of what is the responsibility of IEBC as well?
The responsibility of the IEBC is to oversee any election in this country.
And so what question?
And then that is one. And then number two, they have a responsibility to keep the materials in case of these things that we are saying.
Does it?
That when we come to an audit, that it is possible to say, for example, there's a problem again in an election in a certain ward. So if the court deems that there were irregularities and says you have to do a recount, for example, it is upon the IEBC to present those materials. That is why after the elections, the materials are sealed in a box and preserved and put in a secure place so that you can always come back to audit.
That's it.